today I would like to make, as I say, 3 points. And I want NJCians to take it to heart, because this is how I think we could or should encapsulate what education is about. First, going to school or being educated is for everyone to have a chance to develop your talents. Whatever talent you may have, or you may, through the years of education, you find that you have. Develop that particular talent. My personal belief is that all of us would have a talent. It is a matter of how, through being in school, going through education, or going through the education system, that you find where your talent is. Some of you may have come to NJC without knowing how to play, for example, the guitar. But when you join the guitar club, you suddenly realize that, hey, I have this talent. Some of you join NJC without an idea of what research is. And because of the research program, you have been able to grow and exploit your talent. What is most important with the talents that you have? I wish for all NJCians to use your talents and your skills to live a life in a self-responsible way. That is, to me, very, very important. To live your life in a self-responsible way. What does self-responsibility mean? Self-responsibility would mean that we are able to manage ourselves, we are able to contribute to others, and we are able to lead a life, which I've said many times, that is good. Not a good life, a life that is good. There's a subtle difference, a difference between a good life and a life that is good. And Mr. Alvin Yong will, I think, elaborate more about what it means to live a life that is good. I'm hoping to hear that from you. This is off the cuff. Okay, second, very, very important for any generation of students. Learn how to learn. We have said this many times. In the Singapore system, I think the ability to learn how to learn has somehow diminished. We were just talking about how we have learned how to learn before we came in. The alumni, Mr. Heng, was talking about his experiences. We talked about how we created our own games. And one of the games that perhaps some of you may not have heard about is Hantam Bola. Anybody knows what Hantam Bola is, NJCians? Okay, you don't, right? Those were the games we created because we learned how to create games. We learned how to learn. And because we learn how to learn, then we will then be able to adapt to new situations throughout our lives. COVID-19 is a new situation. And I think the adaptation to the COVID situation is something that Singapore has done well, despite a little bit of griping about how this was managed. But if you think about it, right, one of the things that is unique to Singapore is that we never close schools for a long time. I want you all to remember this. We never close schools for a long time. In other countries, schools were closed for many, many months, even a year or more. And now in America, I was just reading the New York Times. Because closure of schools in America, we get a lot of news from America. Closure of schools in America was for a long time. And the children there are having difficulty adjusting to the new situation. Teachers are having difficulty adjusting to the new situation. So this is an example of how our society, the whole of Singapore society, and incumbent on all of us to learn how to learn. And when we learn how to learn, we learn to adapt to new situations throughout life. For all of you here, some of you are 19 years old, many of you are younger. You have many, many years ahead of you. And I wish for all of you to continue to learn how to learn. For those of us in our generation, my generation, born in the late 1950s and the early 60s, we have to learn how to learn when technological changes fall upon us. I use the word fall upon us. We had no choice. We had to learn how to learn to adjust. Every single app that we use, it is not easy, right? Unlike some of you, you are born into this era. We were not. So sometimes we have no choice. We just have to do it, and we just have to learn. And finally, my last point is that as NJCians, I've always said this, right, and I think it's relevant to today's theme again, is that all of you, wherever you are, whoever you may become, are able and willing to take responsibility for the community, the society, and the environment. This is my final point. I repeat, all of you must be able and willing to take responsibility for community, society, and environment. The Singapore community is a community of many diverse races, religions, and languages. And I've always said the NJC represents the best of Singapore's community. Look around you. We have NJCians from all races, or many races, from many religions, and many languages. I have asked students, because we now have a TLEP, or Tamil Language Elective Program, and Malay Language Elective Program. I've spoken with the students from both the MLEP and TLEP that they must continue to grow themselves to be the intellectuals of their languages, to be at the forefront of what they need to do so that they can continue to contribute to the wider community. What I mean by that is that they continue to be able to explain, to be able to let us know what each and everyone in Singapore society is able to do, able to learn from one another. So I want to stress this point again, right? When we add value to the lives of others, we must be able to be self-responsible first. We must learn how to learn in order to be able to adapt to new situations. And most importantly, for all NJCians, this is always my wish for all of you, that you continue to be able and willing to take responsibility for the community, society, and environment. You don't have to be a political leader to do that. We have many examples here of your seniors who have been doing this for many, many years. So thank you very much for listening to me. I hope I have made some points for all of you to think about, and for all of you to know what it is to be an NJCian. When we say service with honor, always remember it is about adding value to your own life. It is also, most importantly, adding value to the lives of others. Thank you very much.